Greek bailout on the rocks again as we now start to hear some fresh rumblings out of Portugal. Defiant Iran touts its nuke work, and Apple helps fuel a major reversal in the stock market. Will the short-term trend of this market change? I'm Scott Redler, and the morning call starts right now. Good morning, I'm Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com, and welcome to today's Morning Call Express. So yesterday, we had another distribution day. This was our second within the last 5. Wasn't extreme selling, but it was a day to take notice. The indices started above the recent highs. We didn't see that 30 to 60 minute close above to show commitment that we talked about, and then throughout the day, the technical action got a little worse. People are a little upset or worried that Greece now, we don't have to worry about it for 2-3 weeks. Why isn't it getting resolved? We're now hearing some rumblings out of Portugal that they might not be able to meet their obligations. You have Iran saber rattling, talking about its nuclear capabilities. So you combine that with a multi-month run that hasn't seen one correction, and you have to take a little risk off or at least identify what trend you trade and what type of market participant you are. If you look at the chart here of the S&P, you will see we have 2 different trends here, actually almost 3. Here's your first one since the October low here, that outside day that was the birth of this new intermediate trend. If you look here, you have a higher low. It hasn't even been tested. So macro traders have been feeling very comfortable. As far as momentum traders, this is when we broke above this descending channel and we continued higher. We have yet to pierce this accelerated uptrend. So yesterday, we opened up above this resistance, closed on our lows, something that hasn't happened in a while. And if you see 1, 2, you have now 2 distribution days within the last 4, that's a little concern for momentum traders. So this level of just say 1333 to 1337 will be very important. Now the question for traders is, like myself, if you went out net short, do you cover into that support, or can we actually press and add to some shorts for a break of that accelerated uptrend for a move to the downside? Because if we break this and close below, if you look at the chart, you will see that the next real level underneath it is about 1328, and then you could still even have a healthy correction and continue higher coming into this floor around 1300. Now in tech, we had a major reversal in Apple. It was going parabolic. We've talked about it in the beginning of the week. Alex and I were kidding around that I said, it can go from 500 to 520. Then midweek after the option guys, get everyone in there for the later strikes. They could pull the rug. Well, yesterday they did that. And if you look at the Qs, you could even see a more extreme outside day. If you go here on the Qs, you will see that this has had a major run. Okay, and this has been a very high accelerated uptrend. And if you look at yesterday's bar, this is really big. And traded through those highs, reverse. If you were playing for momentum, you had to definitely get out of the way. As far as a short-term sell signal or day to take notice, you never know what this day is going to lead to, but you always clean up going into it. If you take a closer look here, you will see that if we start to trade below yesterday's low, the next level here on the Qs is the low 62s. And you could actually even see a move down to this area, which is a 20-day, and still be healthy. So, with that being said, as a short-term trader, guys are going to trade differently than the macro investor. A macro investor, healthy pulling is good. We'll find the place to buy. For the short-term cute cash flow guy like myself, we're going to look to see if this trend changes. As far as Apple, major top here. We're probably not going to see this level in a long time. It could take weeks, could take months. We pushed through, came back below. You guys want to see some volume here? Look at the size of the volume spike in Apple yesterday. There you go. Huge volume, huge momentum switch. It's opening below yesterday's low of this 496. I think you could try and play for a bounce around this 486, but if you're a macro investor and you sold into that strength, I think at some point you're going to be able to buy this area around 458. So I would just be a little bit patient here. This is day one. Let's see where it leads to. Unbelievable company. The growth is still there. Everything's moving along, but there are times to be in it with size and times to be out of the way. And yesterday was a key momentum shift. You saw a lot of those shifts in a lot of key stocks. You see it in Lulu right here. It also broke out and failed. So if you look at Lulu right now, this also has a bit of a breakout failure. If you also see something like a cat, it also couldn't get above and couldn't continue. And then if you look at some of the financials, they're starting to actually break a little bit lower, okay, where it got They basically got kicked to the curb at that resistance area around 17 and change, and now let's see if it breaks the 20-day. So you have strong sectors that could pull in. You have sectors that have been weakening to see if they could lead the markets lower. So there's a lot to look at, but so make sure you know your time frame. This upper accelerated uptrend is in jeopardy, but the longer term trend is intact. Know your time frame, and we could all figure it out together. Scott Redler, T3 Live, the Morning Call Express. If you want more stocks, action, in depth, go to the long form a little bit later.
Hi, I'm Sean Hendelman, CEO of T3 Live, where we train, coach, and mentor traders in order to help you put your money to work with confidence. The T3 Live approach is a blueprint for you to recognize, adapt, and ultimately take advantage of different market conditions. To begin your training with T3 Live, we would like to offer you the opportunity to enroll in our free 30-day online home study course. Fill in your name and email address, and I'll see you on the other side.